Hey ho, it's Marco Catania representing Charles III University with yet another study aid for the subject ITI 597, a subject that covers like service management or IT service management. Hey, in today's topic, we're going to look at some of the basic concepts for the process access management. So some of like access management's basic concepts. Yeah, access management, let's see. Access management, the process that enables users to use services that are documented in the services catalog or in the service catalog. What's a service catalog? Well, it's the information technologies like a la carte menu. That's where you can like find all the services that IT is providing to you or is like able to provide to you. Yeah, what are those basic concepts for like access management? Well, the things you need to know of is like what is access? What is identity? What are rights? What are services or service groups all about? And what are like directory services all about? So these are like the basic concepts for like the process access management. Yeah, access. ITIL unfortunately doesn't provide a real definition of like what is access all about. So I've taken like a definition from like a dictionary.com. It says here access, the ability, the right or permission to approach, enter, speak with or use. Admittance. Example here like they have access to the files. They can open the files, they can read the files, they're allowed to like use the files. Yeah. The state or quality of being approachable. The house was difficult of access, or like users may not have access to the computer room at all. Only administrators will have like access to the computer room. So that's what like access is all about. What about identity? Well, identity, it says here, it's a unique name that is used to identify a user, a person, or a role. So it's like the identity is like then used to grant rights to that user, to that person, or to that role. For example, the user is like Catania M, the person is like Marco Catania, and the role of like that person is like the access manager. And I mean, typically these users, persons, or roles are then like granted like certain rights to, for example, like to use files or to delete files, or like, for example, to access a computer room. So the identity of like a user, person, or role. Yeah, what about rights? I mean, identity and rights are often like connected with each other, like through access. It says here like entitlement or permissions granted to a user, person, or role. Again, we've got the user Catania M. Well, Catania M now has like the read-write permissions to file like access policy version like a 1.00. The person is Marco Catania, and by the way, the person Marco Catania will have full access to the user ID Catania M until, for example, the 31st of December 2012. The role is like access manager, and the role comes with permission to grant access to the main data center to identifiable members of business PQR. So I mean identity, access, rights, permissions, they're all like linked with each other. They're all like part of like this access management like a process or like access management space. Then access management also talks about like services or service groups. Now, hey, just a question. What is easier? I mean, what sounds easier? Giving each of like the 4,500 staff members individual access to the email application. And the application needs to have like a read-only access. And like the email inboxes, they need like read-write access and so on and so on and so on. Or is it easier to create a group called email with appropriate rights, and each member that you add to the group will like automatically like inherit all these rights? Of course, like it also means that if you like remove a member from the group, well then automatically those rights will be revoked. So that's where we talk about like services and creating like service groups and then linking the appropriate rights to the services and to the groups. Then the last basic concept described as part of like access management are so-called like directory services. An application that manages information about IT infrastructure available on a network and corresponding user access rights. Think of like Yellow Pages. I mean, how easy is it to find, for example, to find like a plumber in your Yellow Pages? Well, typically quite easy because it's all properly like it's categorized, it's like sorted, so it's easy to find your stuff back. And that's the same thing with like a directory service. Some known directory services are like Active Directory Services, ADS, Novell Directory Services, NDS. The Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, LDAP, is quite popular in this space. X500 directory services as a standard, and for example like the Domino directory. I mean, often these directory services are like hierarchically structured, so it's easy to find something. And we've got like, we can look for countries, within the country we can look for organizations, within an organization we can look for an organizational unit, for example like marketing, and in marketing we're looking for like a specific printer. So it becomes quite easy to find like resources and to provide permission, for example, to these resources using like a directory services. Yeah, practice what you preach. Hey, of course, it's about like understanding some of the basic concepts for the access management process. Hey, people claiming to be you, identity theft, it may be something a lot closer to you than you would like to admit or like to believe. I mean, like, is identity theft actually something new? I mean, is it easier to get like someone's identity using like today's like cyber technologies like that are available to you? I mean, how does social hacking, and by the way, what is social hacking, relate to identity theft? And what countermeasures can you put in place against like people stealing your identity? Like, hey, have fun with the exercise, because this is really all like access/identity management related. Yeah, time for a simple question. Hey, which one of the following concepts is not covered by access management? Answer A. Using directory services to grant users with access to various resources. Answer B. Making some documents like read-only for a specific group of users. Answer C. Denying the rights to execute a file in a specific location. And answer D. Creating the rules on how to verify someone's identity in the business. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about the answer, and then as usual we move on. Okay, of course the answer is answer D, because that's done typically by like security management in collaboration with the business. So answer D is actually like not performed by access management. Yeah, the next topic, we're going to start with something new. We're going to look at like functions. The next topic, we're going to define and explain the role of the service desk. Still part of like the volume service operation. Hey, until then, live long and prosper. Nano, nano. And as always, I'll be back.